Hey guys, Unfair here. Welcome to a new Cutting Room Floor series. This time we're playing Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I would highly recommend watching Deus Ex Human Revolution before you watch this one. They have a recap video included in the game, but I'm probably not going to post it here because it really trivializes the story. It doesn't seem nearly as compelling when you smash all the events together without context. So if you haven't seen Human Revolution, stop this and go watch that first. But otherwise, let's get started.
I once thought I could save the world. Now look at it.
Welcome to Dubai.
In yet another augmented terror attack, 251 passengers aboard Sister Airlines Flight 451 were killed when an augmented passenger broke into the plane's cockpit and ruthlessly butchered its flight crew.
Pay attention to this news report, it's kind of important actually. And yes, Eliza Cassan is back. Apparently they never figured out she was AI.
Details recovered from the black box recorder suggest that the man may have been suffering flashbacks to the AUG incident. That horrible day 2 years ago when augmented people all over the world flew into a psychotic killing spree, causing the greatest loss of life in recent history.
Sometimes, you just have to let go. And embrace what you've become.
Not gonna go all wonky on us now, Hansa, are ya?
Well, if I do, McCready, I guarantee you'll never see it coming.
Agent Jensen! Am I gonna have a problem with you?
Yeah, I work better alone.
Sir, no reason to assume you would.
Good, because you are the only augmented operative on this team, and I intend to make good use of you.
Thanks, that makes me feel special.
Listen up, all of you.
We've got a sandstorm barreling down our arse and we can't afford to make mistakes. We're going after this man, an arms dealer named Shepard. He's ex-Bell Tower, one of the Special Forces commanders who disappeared during the incident.
And he's come out of hiding. That cannot be good.
It's not. He's selling weapons and military-grade augments to terrorists. This is Aran Singh, the undercover agent who lured Shepard out of his hole. Best you see Interpol's got. For 3 years he's worked hard to get in tight with the Jinn, an Iraqi smuggling cartel that's infected the Eastern Hemisphere like a plague. Last week, our arms dealer sent a message to the Jinn, offering to sell them a shitload of black market merchandise dirt cheap. They told Singh to handle the buy.
They're not gonna like it when Interpol disrupts that party. Singh's cover really that good?
It is right now. We need to keep it that way. This is where the deal's going down. A half-finished high-rise hotel that's been abandoned ever since the incident. It's not a pretty picture inside.
Let me guess. Most of the laborers were augmented with heavy-duty industrial rigs. So when the incident hit, and they all went schizo, things got gruesome real fast.
And no one, except for some homeless junkies, have been inside the place ever since.
So what's the plan, Director?
Singh's meeting Shepard on the ground floor, inside the hotel's main atrium. He sent the bulk of his Jinn crew to the penthouse levels to secure a vantage point. I want McCready's team to take up positions overlooking the atrium and make the arrest. Jensen, you're going in solo from the roof.
My objectives?
Keep the Jinn from joining the party. As far as we can tell, only one route connects the atrium to the penthouse level, a halfway decent elevator shaft. Here. I want you to block access to it.
Fine. Just cut me loose.
Do you plan on relying solely on your augments for this one?
Hell no.
I'd recommend taking a little hardware, just to be sure.
These options are the same as the previous game basically. They give you 4 choices. Combat rifle, revolver, stun gun, or tranq rifle. We're gonna play it the same way as the previous game, tranq rifle.
We've got a UC in there. Might be easier to maintain his cover if he's not the only one still breathing when this is done.
Smart thinking.
Yeah, but if anything does happen to him, you'll be telling his wife. After you get out of the hospital, of course.
What about range? There's lots of wide spaces and high ceilings in there, but a number of tight and constrained rooms too.
so it's a crapshoot, really.
And there it is.
Well, I'm not looking to play dice with anyone in there. Give me something with distance.
Your call. Less chance of being seen and compromising Singh that way. One last thing, Jensen. Singh said that Jin are using some sort of portable Wi-Fi device to boost communications. He's got a better chance of maintaining cover if you disable it.
I'll keep an eye out for it. But aren't we on the clock here? You said there's a sandstorm moving in.
There is, and we got the intel on this mission at the very last minute, so we're scrambling a little. If it comes to it, your #1 priority is keeping the Jinn out of that atrium.
Copy that.
Time to put away your happy thoughts, gentlemen. We're approaching the target building.
You're up first, Jensen. Let's do this.
Task Force Actual. This is Knife Leader. Engage Hush drives and descend to Angels 1-5.
And yes, we do have Icarus Strike right off the bat. And a lot of other augments too. This is one of those ones where they basically let you play around with everything first.
Team leader, this is Jensen. I'm on the roof.
Solid copy. Move into the building. The access route you need to block is at the far end of the penthouses. And keep in mind, the direct route might not be the easiest one.
Roger that.
McCready will advise once his team is on the ground. Miller out.
So normally I don't show off the menu options, but there is one that I want to show you guys. It's kind of strange. It's this setting right here, Sharpen. And if we turn that off, notice how everything got real blurry? It's almost like they think blurry means realistic or something. Not entirely sure why they did that. Kind of a strange choice. But we'll turn it back on, because in my opinion it looks better this way. They also have some other weird ones like chromatic aberration, which is a camera term. It's something that you normally don't want, but you can turn it on for some reason. And I just wanted to show you guys this too. It's kind of weird. This is one of the little details where they didn't really polish this game very well. You can see the birds kind of fly in rows, almost like an airport landing strip. But we'll see more of that later. I think we get up a little bit higher or lower or something. It's a better viewpoint. Now there are these triangle codes. These are the only really new collectible in the game, and I'm not going to be getting all of these, probably. I'm not going to be going out of my way to get them anyway. But basically they have some other uses, and we'll get into that later. I prefer the story over the collectibles, personally. So that's what we're going to focus on. I'm sure nobody heard that in this big empty building.
Jensen, we're moving through. Oh, fuck!
What's wrong?
The Jinn have got a few Jennies up and running. We're gonna have to hack keypads.
You should enjoy it, McCready. They have colors and shapes. Just remember, red means bad.
Fuck you.
Here's those birds I was talking about. Just straight in rows rather than randomized like they should be. It is kind of a cool environment. So this door is actually turned off. We have to get the power for it turned back on again. Luckily, this is the last linear section. After we get out this door, it starts feeling a lot more like Deus Ex, giving us actual choices and different paths to take. So we have a hacking minigame here. It's pretty much the same as the other one.
Anomaly detected.
Not too hard or anything.
Trace program initiated.
There are a lot more of these one-directional things. I don't remember so many of those in the previous game. You used to be able to capture these enemy nodes a lot easier. The cover system is actually one of the things that I think is an improvement in this game.
I think that was the last one.
I can't describe exactly why. I don't remember the other one very well. I just remember the other one didn't feel good. And this one has a lot better feel
I'll
to
do
it.
another sweep in the area, just to make sure.
Hey, don't run off on me. This tranq gun is actually kind of annoying. You have to go out of the scope every time you want to reload. It's a little bit frustrating. I wish it was a little bit more semi-auto. Now, there is actually a shortcut if we didn't want to go down that way. You can go around here, and there's another ladder up. Lets you skip around some of the guards. Although if we go this way, we actually do have to break a wall, which technically would alert them anyway, I would think. So it's not exactly the silent and sneaky way. But it's just another option.
Jensen, Mac, listen up. Doppler shows that sandstorm's moving in fast. It's big, and it's gonna hit us hard.
God, I hate the fucking desert. Confirm visual?
I can. Time is not on our side.
Copy that.
Solid copy.
And they also have these locks on some of the lockers now. I don't really understand what the purpose is. Maybe it's just them trying to be realistic, but it's just like an extra step to open some of them. I guess maybe if somebody's really close, maybe they'd hear it, but I've never actually seen anybody hear one. Picking up weapons in this game really doesn't matter. I mean, they hand you all kinds of weapons and ammo and stuff. Nothing real interesting though, unfortunately. A lot of the better stuff from the previous game is kind of taken out or replaced by augments. So you can either go down the elevator, which is a little bit more non-stealthy way, or you can go down the wall that we just broke open, which basically puts you right next to it. It's just an empty elevator shaft versus the one that actually has an elevator in it. That's weird, I've never actually had that guy hear me before. That's alright, one less guy to deal with later. Where'd your gun go, dude? Oh well. Might as well save my tranq charges while I can. I do wish they let you visit a little bit more of the city. That would be kind of cool. This is kind of a one and done thing. Most of this game is in a single area. So we can either go this way or we can take the hint route and go up here. And since we have full augmentations right now, we can actually get up here without putting anything in the way to jump on.
المخازن اللي موجودة على السطح عشان تكون بعيدة من الرمل.
Good. There's too much writing on this deal. Last thing we need is it comes breaking down.
فهمت. يلا نبتدي.
We'll actually need this later.
McCready, how you making out?
Slower than expected. It's like someone's tilled a fucking cemetery down here.
Say again?
When the shit hit the fan in 27, the rush must have been for the stairs. There's corpses everywhere. A lot of your cousins are here too, Jensen. You want me to grab you any spare parts?
No parts. But I take mine with cream and 2 sugars while you're asking.
So normally I would just go down this hallway here. It's a pretty easy straight shot. But there are actually some data cubes that we want downstairs. I'm just taking out these guys since they're kind of on Overwatch. And I don't want them bothering me while I'm downstairs.
What? Did you say something?
Don't act as though your job is...
Jensen, what's your 20?
Working my way through the penthouses.
Remember to keep an eye out for the Jinn's communications booster. If you can, disable it.
Roger that.
So there's the first one. And then we need to head down this hallway here. Should be a pretty straight shot. I think there's one guy we need to avoid on this side. Now normally we could go up this ladder right over here, but since the other ones we need are downstairs, we might as well just sneak around this corner. This guy coming down here is actually one of the ones we need to take out. Just need to wait for him to turn around.
Listen up, everyone. Chang's hacked into the Jinn's radio signal. Checking the patch now. We should be hearing Singh any second.
خليل الراجل اللي هيبقى علينا الحاجات جايه كمان شويه. روح قول لبقيه الناس ان انا هحصلكم وخليكم يعني منتظرين.
Patch is clean.
Solid copy. Good. I'll repatch us once the deal kicks off.
So that guy I just knocked out had one of the data cubes we needed. This guy here has the other one. There is one other data cube right out in the middle of all the guys, and I'm not going to bother getting that. But it's basically one of the refugees talking about how it's going to be a great place to live. The message does get cut off, though, as if he was killed while he was writing it. And the secondary objective is actually right upstairs, so we're going to head up there next. This is kind of a neat area, actually. They put in plenty of different routes you can take. Unfortunately, these guys are actually a little bit easier to take out if you come through the wall vent in the room. It's over on the right-hand side. But we have to take them on face to face.
Okay, keep your eyes open. I'm going to go see if I can find anything.
What's up, dude?
Miller, I've disabled the Jinn's comms booster. Should make it harder for them to listen in on the deal.
Good work. With luck, Singh's cover will still be intact when this is over.
Roger that. Moving on to primary target now.
So this is talking about how the Jinn, the guys that we're taking out, used to be freedom fighters. But the group sort of transitioned into gun running and drug smuggling. We might as well take a look at those 3 data cubes we picked up as well. This first one is just a guard being superstitious about touching dead bodies, although that does kind of relate to one of the other ones. The second one is about Singh, the guy we're trying to help out. It says he wanted one guy to meet him for a deal, and when 3 guys arrived instead, he killed them all without hesitation, just for crossing him. Sounds like a pretty badass dude. And the final one is talking about Wasim, one of the two brothers that run the Jinn. Apparently he wants the guards to grab some more spare bodies for experimentation. One of the guards is comparing him to Frankenstein, so that can't be good. And let's take a quick look at these emails too. I don't remember if there's anything interesting in here. This one is just Singh finding out about the booster. And this one is actually from the second brother that leads the Jinn. He's asking another dude to go with his brother Frankenstein and recruit some more poor people for the gang. Sounds like they're headed to the other city that the newspaper was talking about. It's in pretty bad shape, just like Dubai.
Let's close this deal and get out of here.
Now, there is actually a vent that we could take, and it takes us all the way through this wall over here. Or we can go around and hack this door. We're actually going to take the vent. It's just the easier option.
That's not what I meant. I meant we should be in the atrium with him, not up here.
Jensen, we're inside the atrium, taking up positions on the terraces. What's your 20?
Still moving.
Well, hurry the fuck up. Enemy helo is inbound and this sandstorm's getting close. You get that comms booster disabled?
Affirmative. Booster's fried.
So maybe the Tin Man does have a heart after all. Way to look out for your team. Creedy out.
That's what I was talking about. You actually have to go out of the scope to reload. So at least that saves us a little bit of time getting through that door there. Now we need to hack this one over here.
Access granted.
And now things get real.